Hello, buenos días. I am Maricita Colors in English. Today in one live chat o chat live. En Spanish es en un chat en vivo. It's a long time that I didn't make one chat live. But today I want to show you what is my next work. Welcome to my channel. So I will make these stitches for that you can see a little. You can repeat this video because the video stay here in my channel. I will make good the camera. I make this blanket, baby blanket. I use the knit stitch and the purl stitch. I made 10 knit stitches and 10 purl stitches and repeat. And every 12 rows I change. And here I will show you how I make again the stitches. This always can happen. I will rescue these stitches and I will show you how I make. I made before the last pattern was this blanket, baby blanket in crochet. I will let you this pattern up of the screen here in the right side into the comments at the end of this video and into the description box. Look, I must to rescue these stitches. So here I make the purl stitch, punto revés en español. Ten purl stitches, and when I make the knit stitch I have the yarn into the back. Here I must have the 20, but I must rescue. I'm par. First I will catch this stitch, and before I make the rest of the stitches. Look, here I must rescue this and ready. I make into the left needle and I rescue. And here this, look, you can see 2 rows. So you must make the stitch straight. You can help you with your fingers, and with the needle this yarn must pass into this stitch. And I must repeat. Look how I make. And ready. Now we can see in the back if all is correct. And I continue making only the 10 knit stitches. And ready. In the back, if you see a yarn, it's that you lost 1 stitch, but here you don't see the yarn. It's ready. So this blanket is very easy. I use the needles number 4,50 millimeters. I have 14 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. In every line, I have 14 squares. And every 12 rows, I change for the opposite stitch. Where was the purl stitch, I make the knit, and where was the knit, I make the purl. I will finish this row. This is the purl stitch. I will give you some tips for that your border is uniform. The border of our works must be uniform or depends of the needle that you use. Here I make the 10 knit stitches. This is my first blanket in knitting that I make. Here I find the purl stitch, I bring the yarn into the front, and I catch the stitch from the back to the front, yarn, involve the needle, and here again into the front, the needle back, and now I have this stitch and this go out. This is the purl stitch. Purl stitch in Spanish, punto revés, knit stitch, punto derecho, stitch punto, needles, agujas. Now I find the knit stitch, yarn into the back, and from the front to the back, insert the hook or the needle into the stitch, the yarn that is into the back come to the front into the center of the both needles, the right needle back and catch the yarn, and this go out. This is the knit stitch, punto derecho. Blanket, we have 3 names in Spanish: manta, colcha, or cobija. And maybe in another countries in Latin America we have more names, but this is the names that I know. Yarn into the front for make the purl stitch. Usually the blankets or baby blankets you can make from 6 centimeters to 6 centimeters. Oh, this is German. Sorry. 70 centimeters. How you say in English? For like 1 square can be 70 por, in Spanish is por, but in English 70, I don't remember exactly now, but you understand. 70 centimeters of long and 70 centimeters of wide you can make. Or I saw one blanket to 1 meter, 1 meter of long and 60 or 70 centimeters of white. You can make the size that you prefer in your thread. I want to finish this row hilera en español, for that I show you the borders. Here I make the purl stitch. I want to make one border too for my blanket, but I must finish and I will see which border I can make. In crochet, it's more easy to make these borders, but in knitting, it's a little different. But we will see. Almost I finish the row hilera en español. Here I make the last 10 purl stitches, puntos revés. Revés in Spanish, in English can be to reverse, reverse. But for us it's revés. Here I finish and I will show you how I make the last stitch for that my border is uniform. Look, this, and I pull. And look my border. You can see that the borders are uniform. One tip. Here I use the needle number 4,50 millimeters. If you use with this yarn one number more, so maybe 1.5 or 1.6, this border will be not perfect, will be gross or big, grande. So these needles are perfect for this yarn. And you can see this in this border. Maybe if I make with 1.4 or 1.3 needle, the number, maybe this is more close, this border. So with these needles are perfect the border. By example, here I have, this is the garter stitch, punto Santa Clara o punto bobo en español. And look the border. The border is okay because this yarn is a little thick. The number of this needle are the number 8. It's not so easy to see here, but it's number 8. So the border with this yarn and with this needle is okay. This yarn in the etiquette says that I must use maybe the needles number 6 until 7, but I use the 8. But the borders are okay. If I use one needle 6 or 7, this is more close. It's okay too. But if I use needles 9 or maybe 10, the borders will be big and not so nice. So the borders of your thread depends of the needles that you use. Here, of white of my blanket, I have approximately 62 centimeters. Is a little loose my work because the thread must be not so tight. Sure, you can make with the needles that you prefer. If you want your work that is a little close, that is a little tight, you can use not 4,5. You can use one needle, number 3, number 4. But I think I find this work, the thread, perfect for a blanket. I like. So here I have, by example, 1, 2, 3, and 4 rows. I must have 12. And repeat. I will see how many centimeters I have here in my thread. A ver. By example here, more or less, I have 71. I will make 1 meter. Un metro en español. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So I must make all of this. It's a nice stitch that you can make. I saw this stitch in one shawl, in one scarf, in one movie of Hollywood of Reese Witherspoon. This film was something with Alabama, from a song super nice. I don't remember exactly, but I remember that Reese Witherspoon has this shawl, red shawl, super nice, like a scarf, was maybe the half of this thread, maybe like here. And I love this stitch. But this movie is super, super old, maybe 15 years old. But in the movies, sometimes you can see nice threads. And I find very nice for the blanket. So this is the work that I want to show you, that I make now. Is one present for my friend Nuria, that she lives in Barcelona. So I must finish quick my blanket. And this, I make one poncho. Here I must replace the yarn. And I make the garter stitch. Look, the garter stitch is the knit stitch in the front and into the reverse or back of our work. Look how I finish the last stitch. I make the knit stitch and this hole, and I always try to pull a little for that the border is uniform. Again, I pass the first stitch. In all my works I make this. I pass the first stitch for that the border is good. And I pull a little and I continue making the knit stitch. This stitch is very nice too. I will try to make soon one poncho. I have there one piece. Here I have 56 stitches, almost 40 centimeters of white, and from long I will make from the same size, but this will be too one of my works. It's beautiful, the knit stitch or the garter stitch. It's the same, look, like this, and you don't recognize how is the work, if the work is from down to up or from up to down. It's the same. Okay, so these are my works that I make in this moment. And before I finish this video, I want to invite you to subscribe here in my channel. Maricita Colors in English is total free. Remember, activate the bell for that you can receive the post when I have a new video here in my channel. You can find me too in Facebook and in Instagram. And every week I always make videos with old patterns for that you can see my works. I make sometimes mini videos, but always I make one new pattern. So thank you very much to all the person that always write me and comment and share my videos. This is super important for me. And ready. So we see us soon, and thank you very much for being here with me. Muchas gracias y hasta la próxima. Chao, chao. Hasta la vista, amigos. Muchas gracias. Chao, chao.